Today's topic is important and interesting because it explains why we act in relationships with other people in a certain way. This is exactly the case when you can link your childhood with today's events. I want to begin with a bit of an interactive approach, and I want you to imagine that your partner is late from work and doesn't give you any warning in advance. What would be your reaction to that? Just think about it for a second. Now I'm going to show you how people with different attachment styles would react to this situation. A person with a secure attachment style will call to find out if everything is okay, and after they will go about their business with no worry. The main formula is "you are okay and I'm okay also." People with an anxious attachment style will call every half an hour and ask, "Are you coming home soon? Are they guys only or are they girls only? Do you love me?" Their lives stop until their partner answers or returns home. "You are okay and I'm not okay." This is the main formula. The avoidant style partner will silently pack up bags because in their head their partner potentially cheated and they are going to feel offended in advance, even without knowing the real reasons. The main formula is "I'm okay and you are not okay." And finally, a person with a disorganized style of attachment will pack their bags with thoughts: "My spouse doesn't love me because I'm not worthy of love. It's better for him or for her to find someone else. Love doesn't exist," and so on. Message: "I'm not okay, you are not okay, and relationships in general are not okay." Does any of those sound familiar to you? Let's dive deeper into the topic and discuss each of those styles more in depth. My name is Darina and I run a psychology vlog for a happier living. Let's get started. Founded by psychoanalyst John Bowlby in the 1950s and expanded by Mary Ainsworth, attachment theory outlines how you bond with your parents or primary caregivers, sets the foundation for how you navigate relationship throughout life. According to the theory, there are 4 types of attachment styles: secure, anxious, avoidant, and disorganized. Avoidant, anxious, and disorganized are considered insecure attachment styles. Now, let's have a look deeper into each of those styles. What are their signs, how do they form, and how does it manifest in adult relationships? What's a secure attachment style then? Secure attachment is defined by the ability to build healthy, long-lasting relationships. It develops since in your childhood you felt secure with your parents or caregivers. You were able to ask for reassurance or validation without punishment. In a nutshell, you felt safe, understood, and valued during your early years. Your caregivers were emotionally available and aware of their own emotions and behaviors. You can understand that you have a secure attachment style if you have those qualities. Now you can count how many boxes you can tick. You can regulate your emotions and manage conflicts very well. You can easily trust others. You have effective communication skills. You are able to seek emotional support. You are comfortable being alone as well as you are comfortable in close relationships. You can self-reflect in partnerships. You are easy to connect with, and you have a high self-esteem. How it manifests in relationships. People with secure attachment styles tend to navigate relationships well. They're generally positive, trusting, and loving to their partners. Jealousy is often not an issue for them. Securely attached people feel that they're worthy of love and don't need external reassurance. What's an anxious attachment style? Anxious attachment style also known as anxious ambivalent or anxious preoccupied, is another type of insecure attachment characterized by fear of rejection, fear of abandonment, depending on a partner for validation and emotional regulation, codependent tendencies. It develops from inconsistent parenting. For example, your parents at some times been overly caring and at other times detached or indifferent or easily overwhelmed, and it can fluctuate even within 1 day period. Sometimes attentive and then push you away, sometimes hot, then cold, and so on. Also, they made you responsible for how they felt. For example, if you haven't been that difficult, I would build a good career and won't be that miserable, etc. Therefore, these children often grow up thinking that they are supposed to take care of other people's feelings and often become codependent. Signs you might have an anxious attachment style include clingy tendencies, highly sensitive to criticism, needing approval from others, jealous tendencies, difficulty being alone, low self-esteem, feeling unworthy of love, intense fear of rejection, significant fear of abandonment, difficulty trusting others. By the way, I'm on purpose putting those signs in a list, so it might be easier for you to take it on board or make a note if needed. How anxious attachment style manifests in adult romantic relationships. People with this attachment style usually feel unworthy of love and need constant reassurance from their partners. They often blame themselves for challenges in the relationship and can exhibit intense jealousy or distrust due to low self-esteem. The next one is the avoidant attachment style. It's defined by a failure to build long-term relationships with others due to an inability to engage in physical and emotional intimacy. How it develops. In childhood, you may have had strict or emotionally distant and absent caregivers. They may have expected you to be independent, rejected you when expressing your needs or emotions, being slow to respond to your basic needs. Some avoidant producing parents are outright neglectful, but others are simply busy and more concerned with things like grades, chores, or manners than feelings, hopes, dreams, or fears. As a result, these children may learn to adopt a strong sense of independence, so they don't have to rely on anyone else for care or support. You might have an anxious avoidant attachment style if you persistently avoid emotional or physical intimacy, feel a strong sense of independence, are uncomfortable expressing your feelings, have a hard time trusting people, feel threatened by anyone who tries to get close to you, spend more time alone than interacting with others, believe you don't need others in your life, and you have commitment issues. How it manifests in relationships. Anxious, avoidant, attached adults may tend to navigate relationships at an arm's length. The need for emotional intimacy is simply lacking in this type of individual, so romantic relationships are not able to reach any level of depth. As you might remember from the beginning of this video, people with this attachment style going to pack their bags as soon as they don't like something. They always going to be the first one to initiate the breakup. I don't need you, I can do it all on my own, and so on. What's a disorganized attachment style? Anxious disorganized attachment is defined as having extremely inconsistent behavior and difficulty trusting others. The most common causes of disorganized attachment style are childhood trauma, neglect, or abuse. Also, children might be afraid of their own parents, so their sense of safety is destroyed. Children with this attachment style may seem confused. Caregivers are inconsistent and are often seen as sources of comfort and fear at the same time, which leads to their disorganized behaviors. Signs of a disorganized attachment style include fear of rejection, inability to regulate emotions, contradictory behaviors, high levels of anxiety, difficulty trusting others, signs of both avoidant and anxious attachment styles. This type is also associated with mental health conditions in adulthood, including mood disorders, personality disorders, self-harm, substance use disorder. In a relationship, the hallmark of this style is unpredictable and confusing behavior. They alternate between being aloof and independent and being clingy and emotional. While they desperately seek love, they also push partners away because of the fear of love. They believe that they'll always be rejected, but they don't avoid emotional intimacy. They fear it, and they also consistently seek it out, only to reject it again. They perceive their partners as unpredictable, and they themselves behave in unpredictable ways within their relationships as they continue to wrestle between the need for security and fear. To sum up, I want to say that it is possible to change an attachment style in adulthood towards a more secure one if developing new behavior